それでは定刻になりましたので、ポロシェンコウクライナ大統領の記者会見を始めたいと思います。大統領は昨日関空に着かれて、まず京都を訪れられて、それから、今日は、経団連とのミーティング、あるいは、この後安倍総理との会談、明日は、天皇皇后両陛下との会見、多忙な日程の中、当クラブで、記者会見の時間を、割いていただきました。どうもありがとうございました。略歴はお手元にすでに配布してありますので、詳しい紹介は省略させていただきます。今日は、日本語と英語の同時通訳で、行います。通訳は佐山の池田さんでございます。私は今日進行役をやるのは日本経済新聞のわけでございます。じゃあそれでは最初に大統領の方からオープニングリマークスを10分程度お願いしたいと思います。
Thank you very much indeed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Minasama, konnichiwa. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to address you today at Japan National Press Club. And I am delighted to visit Japan again. And this time I had a chance to see your country in Hanami season, to admire the blooming cherry, blooming sakura. And this is a fantastic time in a fantastic country. It's the best time to experience Japan in a special atmosphere. Its rich culture, deep-rooted tradition. However, my visit is far from being just a cultural trip. Its a key purpose is to strengthen the global, strong partnership with Japan. During the last 2 years, Japan is one of our most reliable and most strong partners. And I myself has always been and will certainly remain fierce proponent of strong relation between Ukraine and Japan. Not only for the benefit of our nation, but in wider perspective for the sake of the regional and global peace and security. It's a critical important at these challenging times when the security situation in Europe and all around the world is balancing on the brink of global crisis. Regrettably, we have to admit that despite our efforts, old problems remain. Moreover, unfortunately, we have a new one. We are still a long way from resolving the conflict in Syria. One of its consequences is the wave of the unprecedented migration in Europe. Terrorism has spread in the cities, unfortunately, almost worldwide. Propaganda has proved capable of stirring turmoil where it was a little expected. Tension rises on the Korean Peninsula following a new nuclear test and missiles launches. For my people, this is the second year of fighting against brutal Russian aggression. As a result, about 31,000 have fallen victims to our big neighbor fears. More than 10,000 of them were killed, and 21,000 Ukrainian citizens were wounded. 1,750,000 became internally displaced persons. And the price Ukraine pays for her justified endeavor to be free, to be democratic, to be European is extremely high. To stop this bloodshed, more than 1.5 years ago, I put forward a comprehensive peace plan. It was basis for the Minsk Agreement, which is exactly the name of the Minsk Agreement, mentioned my President Poroshenka peace plan. And this Minsk Agreement remain the only instrument, and we as a Ukraine remain committed until now. We are doing our best to ensure that peace comes back to Donbass, even if some steps were not popular in Ukrainian society. The Ukrainian side is a champion on ensuring the ceasefire and withdrawing the weapons. We are fully cooperative with the OEC Special Monitoring Mission. We have been doing our utmost to humanitarian and social economic needs for the people we got under the occupation of the Donbass. We keep repairing the infrastructure which Russia-backed militants destroyed. We adopt the law on the special order of local self-government in Ukrainian parliament, and me as a president signed it. We passed a constitutional amendment on the decentralization in the first reading. We proposed a vision how to hold local election and launch an important discussion among all the participants of the trilateral contact group. What we have got in return: daily violation of the ceasefire, constant movement of the heavy weapons in violation of the withdrawal lines, ongoing supply of weapons and manpower from Russia through the uncontrolled part of Ukrainian-Russia border to Donbass, hindered access of OEC, continuously violation regime of the border, constant large-scale military exercise in the vicinity of Ukrainian border, no release of all Ukrainian hostages and political prisoners, including Nadia Savchenko and Oleg Sentsov, no access of the Ukrainian and international humanitarian organization to Donbass. And in addition to all of this, now Russia is putting the immense effort into blaming Ukraine for being in violation of the Minsk agreement. What can I say? An appropriate policy for the country that demands respect and claims to be the world's leader. In these circumstances, I would like to express our deep and sincere gratitude to the government of Japan and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe personally for its vocal and consistent support of my country. We really appreciate your helping hand. We are convinced that Japan will never let Ukraine down. And because from your own experience, you know very well what it means to have Russia as a neighbor. Russia's policy is the same, absolutely the same elsewhere. Its method is neither moral authority nor economic power. Rather, it is a military and political dictate, which goes hand in hand with a total disrespect of the international law. Let me remind you of the recent statement of President Putin, who confessed that he did not care about the borders at all. That is why your solidarity, powerful political support and coordinated action is vitally important for us, Ukrainians. We sincerely hope that Japan and other G7 leaders will reiterate their joint position during forthcoming summit in Japan, sending very strong signal to the Kremlin. We really count on you, our dear friends and partners. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I have said many times that the strong and reformed Ukraine is the best response to the Russian aggression. That is why, despite the hardest challenge Ukraine is facing its modern history, we keep pushing the implementation of the comprehensive reform. And I many times said, war is not the reason for not providing and not implementing reform. Already some significant steps forward have been taken in this direction. We have management already to escape the default, which many skeptics was absolutely sure. We achieve macroeconomic and financial stabilization. We restructured our foreign debt. We replenish gold and foreign exchange reserve. We rehabilitate the banking sector in Ukraine. This means we have paved the way for the strong economic growth. Work is underway to set up a new law enforcement agency based on absolutely new principles, which have a strong support and trust both from Ukrainian people and our international partners. I refer to the National Patrol Police, National Anti-Corruption Bureau, Specialized Anti-Corruption Public Prosecution Office, and I really appreciate that Japan took an active part in the formation of Ukraine's national police by delivering the patrol car last year and will provide grants for the supplying winter police uniform this year. The launch of Ukrainian patrol police in Kiev was in presence me and Prime Minister Abe. It is still too early to make a conclusion on operation of this new law enforcement agency. However, I am convinced that in time of their achievement will reshape both economic sector and political institution. In the year 2015, for the first time in 24 years of our sovereignty, we finally got rid of our dependence on the Russian gas. Recently, a green light was given for the large-scale privatization in Ukraine. In particular, we facilitated the privatization procedure in accordance with the international standard. On January the 1st, year 2016, a deep and comprehensive free trade agreement with the European Union came fully into force. And one of the tasks of my visit there is to invite Japanese business to Ukraine. I ask you to be more daring and to make full advantage of opportunities that are already available, in particular due to Ukrainian reform and due to the deep and comprehensive free trade agreement with the European Union. In fact, Ukraine could become a new gateway for the Japan investment to European Union. And since DCFTA lifts the tariffs and non-tariffs barrier for Ukrainian export to the European Union, it gives additional opportunities to establish low-cost production facilities in my country, employing very high-qualified Ukrainian personnel. Japanese business will acquire a unique opportunity to sell to EU almost duty-free goods manufactured in Ukraine. Needless to say that the potential of our cooperation is huge and diverse, and we are interested in your own experience of implementing reforms. Abenomics, the new economic policies initiated and advocated by my good friend Prime Minister Abe, could be absolutely very useful in Ukraine. Ukraine and Japan are also connected by unseen tragedies which they lived through. We are only two countries in the world share terrible experience of the world largest nuclear disasters. This year we commemorate both 5th anniversary of the Fukushima tragedy and 30th anniversary of the Chernobyl tragedy. I'm proud that our nation united their efforts in bringing together the scientific and technical capacities of overcoming the consequences of this incident. Jointly, we have achieved significant progress. We are strongly committed to continue this cooperation for the benefits of the whole world. My dear friends, despite the distance that separates us, the contact between our nations become more extensive. We will discuss today with the Prime Minister Abe the possibility to establish visa liberalization for the Ukrainian traveling to Japan with a perspective to introduce visa-free regime. And I cannot but mention excellent cultural ties which also unite Ukraine and Japan. For 40 years, Kiev and Kyoto have been promoting the art of ballet. This cooperation gives young artists a unique opportunity to learn from each other. Moreover, artistic director of the Kiev State Ballet School and principal dancer of the Taras Shevchenko National Opera is a citizen of Japan, Nobihiro Terada. Last year, I had a pleasure to distinguish Mr. Terada with the Award of People of Artists of Ukraine. This time, I've decided to decorate another of your compatriot. Mrs. Fuji Etsuko has made a significant contribution to the popularization of Ukrainian literature here in Japan. Thanks to her, you have an opportunity, and I hope a pleasure, enjoying works of our greatest poet, Taras Shevchenko. Would you be so kind to welcome and applause this fantastic lady? Mr. Fujie Tsuko, we are immensely indebted to you. On this positive note, let me finish my opening remark. Thank you very much indeed for your attention. And go, seikiyo, arigato, gojimasita. I'm ready to answer your question.
はい、大統領どうもありがとうございました。フロアからの質問に移る前に私の方から、2、3追加でコメントをいただきたいんですが、まず経済に関して2年前に危機が起きたときは、